Hey folks, welcome to Ravenous Farmer Year 3. So it's been about 3 years since my wife and I decided to go back to the land. This year a lot of things really clicked. Our garden is abundant, the lasagna-gardening style it works really well, and we have great soil quality, and we produce 99% of all of our produce for the entire year at our own homestead here. So this year we're really honing our garden as opposed to just still getting it established. I found a really cool new way to trellis tomatoes that I want to show you, and we experimented more with companion planting, so just putting two plants next to each other, they will benefit one another and be better than they would be alone. So before I take you on a tour of our 2021 garden and show you all the delicious things we grew, as well as go over some of the best gardening techniques that I learned in the last year, I just want to talk a little bit about all the tangential benefits of gardening. Like harvesting my own firewood. Like growing and making our own teas. Echinacea, some really beautiful bee balm, some chamomile. And by growing all of our own vegetables, we're able to save a bunch of money, which allows us to spend more on Maine's sustainable seafood. We have incredible cold water oysters, incredible cold weather scallops. It's just awesome to be able to support a sustainable industry like that. But you know, the most important thing that happened was that we finally found a gardening community. When you enter the garden world, you don't just learn how to grow some vegetables, you also get to enter a long tradition of people who all share these values of organic food, sustainable farming, and that's exactly what we found here in Maine. So, it's mid-October, and somehow we've had the most beautiful weather, and our garden is still going really strong. Here we have what is about to be a bunch of sauerkraut, but we also did some companion planting, so we planted onions right in here, as well as some nasturtium to keep bugs away. But I also learned that you can eat these, and you can even make dolma out of them and wrap things up. But man, look at the size of these guys. That is a cabbage. Also planted some beets amongst them, so got that mixed in as well. One thing that's still going insanely strong is eggplant. There's a lot of eggplants all throughout here. We have some really nice poblano peppers that we've been roasting, making some chili rellenos. Yeah, look at that guy. Woo. This is a first. We are growing tomatillos, and they've just been really delicious. We've made a few so salsas. Look at this, the coloring on that. When they're really purple like that, they're super sweet. So good for salsas, even a warm tomatillo salad, and there's tons of them. Our greenhouse, this year we decided to do greenhouse tomatoes. To really try to get things to ripen up, and we have been eating a ton of them. The thing that's pretty cool to see at this point is that how we trellis them. So here's the base right there, and we only let one and then two suckers grow, and so there's only two suckers, there's only two branches to this whole tomato plant. What we did to hold it together is these little clips, and you just tie a piece of string to the base, and then you use clips to hold it up as it climbs, and then the other end of this is attached to the top of the greenhouse. But I love this approach to trellising your tomatoes. It saves a lot of room because they grow so vertical, and it really promotes early ripening, and they also seem to really grow bigger and more flavorful tomatoes. This is a good example of the tomato trellising that we did. Basically took a large gauge fencing and created these hoops for the tomato plants. This year, I'm really happy to say we have a lot of red bell peppers. Some are still green, of course. Some jalapenos. Another one. The corn was really good this year. We did the Three Sisters approach again, and you can see the beans are ready for harvest. Yeah, at this point they're dried enough that you should just be able to crack them open and get a bean. And if they're not, you can put them on screens and let them dry a little bit more. We somehow still have zucchini going strong. Year 2 of the asparagus. We were able to harvest it for about 3 weeks on different plants. And again, we let some volunteer tomatoes grow in the center, and that helped. I think everything just really grew together really well. I know that they have chemicals that kind of speak to each other and make them happy. So we just have a billion asparagus root stems coming out of a single crown, you know, all the way up and down. And then these tomato plants are huge and still giving us tomatoes, and a little bit of oregano to go with it all. We have a crazy amount of basil and beets all along the center. And here's some more of the monster eggplants. Whoa, you got a golf ball. Yeah, we really like to play the golf on the prop. This is a really fun plant. It's walking onion, and this onion actually grows and walks, and it's a perennial, so it comes up first thing in the spring to get early onions. So this was a stem that was standing up like these ones, and then it fell over, and on the end of the stem, these things, like pretty much little onion bulbs, right there, developed, and so that will create a whole new stand of them, and it'll walk across the garden next year too. Got a little bit of kale still going. Our winter storage carrots are here, and we're even still getting cherry tomatoes for like, I don't know, 4 months now. Gotta love the good life. It's been a really productive year here. We have been busy canning. This year we did about 24 quarts of fresh whole tomatoes. Here we did tons of different pickling. We got classic pickles, we have jalapenos, more pickles, pickled some carrots, really good, pickled some beets. We made loads of salsa, just awesome stuff. Really can get it to taste just like you want it to. Here we made Salsa Verde with tomatillos. This was really fun. Pickled jalapenos with carrots and onions, just like at all the taquerias I miss from California. These are really cool because the jalapeno actually is not the spicy part. The carrot takes all the spice. So if you want a milder jalapeno with your taco, that is the way to go. Another cool project we tried this year was of olive oil preservation with eggplant. This is just like the olive oil marinated that we used to eat when we lived in Italy. It's absolutely amazing. So far this has lasted 5 months in a above root cellar temperature room, just in the pantry, and man, it is delicious. And of course, had to do sauerkraut, and we did 50 pounds of sauerkraut. This year I decided not to can it. We froze most of it, or else kept it in a root cellar until it could no longer take it. The reason we did that was because when you can sauerkraut, you actually kill all the probiotics, which are the main nutrient. So by freezing them, we can just take them out when they're ready, and all the probiotics are still healthy. So this is what we have left after half the winter. Yep, we like to eat. So that was our year 3. A lot happened, and we continue to keep learning. Ravenous Farmer will be back again in year 4, year 2022. But now with our pantry stocked, our woodshed full, and our garden underneath a blanket of snow, nothing to do but kick back and enjoy some leisure activities. Till next year.